Both the governing All Progressive Congress APC and the main opposition People's Democratic Party PDP are temporarily in cul-de-sac over the battle for their presidential ticket. The major stakeholders in each of them are engaged in intense power struggle on the zoning, a principle that has become expedient stabilizing factor in the politics of the country. This has left the parties in an apparent dilemma on the gristly principle of zoning, with the main power blocks and centers in the APC and PDP poised to tilt the scale. With this membership revalidation and registration exercise at the last stage, the uncanny rivalry among the power brokers in the APC is far from over. The ranging altercations among them are rooted in the accusations and counter accusations of a certain powerful and influential bloc hijacking the process. Apart from the skepticism expressed by some party stalwarts at the commencement of the revalidation, others had alleged hoarding of the cards, just as others raised what they perceived as a hidden agenda, primary of which is to technically frustrate planned presidential aspiration of certain power brokers in 2023. Before it extended the exercise by a few weeks in February, the APC National Secretariat had been inundated with demand by state chapters for additional registration cards. Even state chapters like Kano requested more membership registration cards in the midst of claims by members of the APC in other states that were deliberately schemed of the exercise and powerful force. This was particularly the trend in states where the party is smarting from internal conflicts dating back to the last political dispensation. President Muhammadu Buhari had flagged off the registration exercise in Douala, Katsina State on February 9, 2021, and was earlier scheduled to end on February 23rd but extended to March 31st, 2021. In the midst of the intrigues, in the discourse over rotation or zoning of the presidency from the north to the south for the next elections, some top shots in the APC have been part of the raging debates. So far, a national leader of the party and former governor of Lagos State, Senator Bola Tinubu, ex-governor of Zamfara State, Senator Ahmed Sani, and incumbent governor Yahya Bello of Kogi State appear to be trailblazers in the battle for APC tickets. Only Tinubu is from the southern part of the country. A member of the manifesto committee of the defunct merger committee of APC, Chief Osita Okechukwu, was quoted as saying there was a mutual agreement on power shift at the inception of the APC. There's a convention, it is a convention. From 1999, the Convention of Zoning was adopted. It is not written in black and white, it is a convention which provides guidance in liberal democracies. Nobody can come out and say there was no agreement. He was quoted to have said, in time past, some politicians were persuaded not to run for the president for the sake of equity, fairness, and justice. So after President Buhari's 8 years, it should go to the south. The good thing is that there is no part of the country that does not have competent people. His view is a sharp contrast to the position of the ex-governor Ahmed Sani. He expressed doubts about such a gentleman's agreement that power should alternate between the north and the south. His words, I don't think there's anything like agreement. You can't ask Mr. President. He led the group. Asiwaju was there. I was part of it. There was no meeting I didn't attend or any meeting that I attended that there was such agreement. Such agreement can't be verbal. It has to be written. In any case, an agreement that is contrary to laws of the country is not an agreement. The constitution is very clear. We're in a democracy, and democracy is governed by processes and procedures and by laws. Recently, the PDP 2019 Election Review Committee, led by Governor Bala Mohammed of Bauchi State, submitted its report to the National Working Committee of the party, in which it recommended, among other things, that the presidential flag bearer in the 2023 election should be chosen through a merit-based system. Governor Mohammed read the highlights of the report to a packed and expectant hall made up of party hierarchy and chieftains from all parts of the country. The committee chairman drew applause when he started by acknowledging what he said was the valid argument that holds the Northeast or the Southeast should be given consideration to produce the party's 2023 flag bearer because they are the geopolitical zones with the shortest stint in power to date. But the ovation turned to bemusement when, in the same breath, he said the PDP must conduct a credible national presidential primary, as he maintained that there are capable individuals all around the country who can provide Nigeria the required leadership to pull it out of the present quagmire. This was immediately interpreted to mean dumping zoning, an idea the Southeast had relied upon to get a shot at power. His words, in line with certain unwritten conventions of the nation's history, many people think that for fairness and equity, the Northeast and Southeast geopolitical zones that have the shortest stints at the presidency should be given special consideration in choosing the presidential flag bearer of the party in 2023 election. While we admit this is a very strong argument, we should not lose sight of the fact that Nigeria is endowed with many capable and experienced leaders in every part of the country. Moreover, the exigencies of the moment demand that nothing should be compromised in choosing the leader with the attributes to disentangle the country from the present quagmire. Therefore, we think that every Nigerian from every part of the country should be given an opportunity to choose the best candidate through a credible primary election as a way of institutionalizing a merit based leadership recruitment process for the country and for the party. The recommendations have been a bit confusing to say the least to PDP faithful and other political watchers alike, given the relentless push in the two major parties to cede the ticket to the Southeast. Recalled here, but instead Governor Dave Umahi dumped the PDP for the APC on the ground that the PDP was unwilling to commit to selecting the presidential candidate from the Southeast, a statement of assurance from the PDP that it was yet to take a decision on zoning followed the Umahi's accusation. Observers say if the PDP accepts this recommendation of the Governor Mohammed report, Umahi will feel vindicated. The recommendation is ruffling feathers in the party against many members' expectation that the committee's outcome would be the anchor of a new and harmonious path to reclaiming the presidency. There are other recommendations made by the committee, but they now seem to have been overshadowed by the zoning proclamation. Among these are that the PDP should set aside a certain percentage for youth and women in the elected and operative officers. The party should endorse the outcome of the 2014 National Conference or, in the alternative, support the call for a new one, and that the PDP should actively pursue restructuring that fosters decentralization, national unity, and security of lives and property. Drawing on the remark by former Senate leader Senator Ali Ndume, who had canvassed for an Igbo president in 2023, Ohanieze hinted that the Igbo would have no hesitation dumping the PDP to align with any political party ready to project Southeast interest. The Ohanieze Indigbo, led by Professor George Obiozo, is committed to a Nigerian president of Igbo extraction, and there is no going back on it. It should be noted that the Igbo network transcends geographical space, and enormous Igbo goodwill and resources across the world will be mobilized to achieve these equity-inspired projects, the group said. If the Southeast chance to produce the presidential candidate of the PDP in 2023 seems to be slipping away, observers says Ohanieze must feel heartened by remarks from within the APC as some of its members suggest that they are disposed towards having a Southeast or just a Southern president candidate for the election. Apart from Udume, one of the strongest voices to hold this opposition within the ruling party is the Katsina State Governor Aminu Masari. With regards to zoning, fair is fair. If you ask me, I would, as a person, Aminu would think we should move the presidency to the southern part of the country, he said, reluctant to be drawn into which part of the south. South is south, he added. Despite this, and even with Buhari from Northwest completing his 8-year tenure, it is still also uncertain where the APC would pick its 2023 presidential candidate. The PDP, though its hands full, it is in quandary currently over zoning issue. Some muffled voices within the party believe that Prince Uche Secondus may be responsible for the push to have a northern presidential candidate. Some think he's paving the way for the return of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar as the 2023 candidate, while he hopes to retain his post as the national chairman of the party. But Secondus has always dismissed such opinion as false. The party has moved to reassure its supporters and the Southeast, especially that there is nothing to worry about as far as the zoning of 2023 presidency is concerned. It reminds them that the Mohammed's committee's recommendation is nothing more than that, and that the party has yet to accept or reject it. In a tweet titled Clarifications on Recommendations of the 2019 Election Review Committee, the party made its current position known. Due to inquiries from our members and the general public, it has become imperative to clarify that official PDP Nigeria is here to adopt any of the recommendations proposed by Senator Bala Mohammed's committee on the review of the 2019 election. As such, it would be incongruous for anyone to assert that the decision has been taken at official PDP Nigeria on zoning of the presidency ahead of 2023 elections. At official PDP Nigerian leaders, members and supporters are enjoined to note that the party is yet to take any decision on the proposal presented by the committee. Guys, let's hear your take down below in the comment section. Thank you once again for staying tuned. Please don't forget to like, share, and to subscribe till I come your way again with more updates. Bye.